What happened with the share HAL this week?
A lot. We're going to talk about it in What's Hot. But first, what happened? You were on vacation, not this week, but previous week. So you came back, and what did you see? What happened on the stock market?
First, we had, of course, last Friday, you spoke about the reconstitution of the Russell 3000 with Martin.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
very interesting. And I, of course, did have a look what happened that day with the trading activity. And yes, there was like a spike in the transactions in the New York Stock Exchange. So everyone was warned in the market reporters, and yes, it was a busy day. Then we had Monday pre-market. We both were a little bit disappointed, I think, in the national team of Holland with the soccer. Okay, we don't speak about that. Tuesday we have intradays. We had intraday highs in the Dutch market, but also in the US market. So, like we had a few recently, intraday highs. Wednesday, the last day of the quarter and also the last day of the first 6 months of 2021, with another records, of course, the Dutch market, for example, the highest, the biggest increase since 1998. And today, the 1st of July, it's a new quarter, new 6 months to come. Did you know that as of today, the 1st of July, there's a new European rule regarding the taxes if you order products outside of Europe? It's the smaller orders you did until 22 euros, until this date were not, taxes were not charged, but as of today, it's 21%.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And the things that I ordered before the first, is there also?
It's also, it will apply the 21%. So be careful with that. It's interesting to see what will happen in the market, of course, with local suppliers contra the ones outside of Europe, but it's said that this difference still will be quite big, you know, so if you want to order something...
No, not the positive news, Darko.
No, I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. Tesla, they announced that they have to recall 300,000 cars that were produced in China, and they're also driving around in China. Something is not safe, so that was quite a news. The share price didn't respond on it, and that was because they can do the update through a software update from a distance, so they don't have to go back to shops that don't exist. So they can probably with one program, they can send it out. So that looked a really big thing, but at the end it wasn't that big. Virgin Galactic, they received approval to travel in space on Friday, and the share price gained 39% last Friday. And in the UK was in the news. Two things I want to highlight. HAL, that's a Dutch retailer, they announced that they will leave the UK, and also the official figures were presented from the GDP of the first quarter. It was 1.5, but they found out that they missed something because it's now 1.6 shrink. So you see a lot of countries that are improving, that are increasing. In the UK, the first quarter had a negative amount, so that's not really positive. What's hot?
What's hot? I think gap trading is hot.
What is that?
What is gap trading? Well, first of all, what is a gap? A gap is when an index, for example, or a share opens higher than the highest point the previous day or lower than the lowest point. And that's not the only thing we need to take in consideration. It's also important that the gap will be closed, meaning that if the market opens higher than the highest point of the previous day, it falls back into the range. And that could be a signal for investors, for traders, to think that the market will go down more, back into the range.
That day, only that day. Yeah.
And of course the other way around, a lower opening under the lowest point, markets go up, back into the range, that there will be a strong movement upwards. And then, like you said, of course, everyone needs to decide at which level you take profit and at which level you take loss. Very interesting strategy. You can apply it to several indices, to shares, and especially when markets are not really moving that much one direction. It's just an opening.
If they trade like this,
yeah, for example,
what's happening now, yeah,
would be
really
interesting.
Yeah. If they want to know more about it, because you have to realize it's an offensive strategy, how can they reach you?
Oh, leave a comment, for example, or reach out to us directly if you know our details, of course.
Okay. Okay, HAL. What is HAL?
Holland America Line, I know that.
Yes, that was the. They were founded already in 1873, and what they did, they had really big ships from Rotterdam. They went to the US to travel with a lot of people, because you didn't have planes in the beginning, and also a lot of goods. Really big company from the Netherlands, from Rotterdam. They sold their last shipment activities in 1989. And then they changed the name into HAL, and they sold it for around 600 million euros. And they are now more like an investment company. They're quite famous in the Netherlands. They are still owned by 68%, if I'm not wrong. No, I'm not wrong. By the family from the Forms. The CEO nowadays is not a Van der Vorm, there always was a Van der Vorm. It's now Signor Melchers, and he owns 17%, and that results that the free float is only 15%. And it's also always interesting to know, because normally the free flow is 100% or a high percentage. In this case, it's only 15%. What do? They have all kind of stakes in different kind of companies. And they were in the news this week because they sold their stake in Grand Vision. And what is Grand Vision?
The glasses?
Yeah. They have all kind of brands, Eyewishes, Pearl. They are active in 40 countries. They have 200,000 employees. I'm not sure, they think they are the biggest in that sector. And they closed a deal with EssilorLuxottica before the Corona crisis for a price per share of €28.42. And there were a lot of discussions, court cases in the last months, because they wanted to pay less than, the buyers wanted to pay less than the price that was agreed on. And the outcome of the court cases went into the direction that the market thought that they would renegotiate the deal. But at the end, this week it was announced that they did the deal for the price, so that was good for Grand Vision, because they are also on the stock market for a certain percentage. And it was good for HAL, so they sold a stake of 76%, and the price of Grand Vision went up 14%, and of HAL went up with almost 5%. Okay, but they were also in the news because I think they already bought something with money that they didn't receive yet from the deal, because they bought a company, and it's called Pro Gamers Group, and they do everything about, they create everything about gaming products, so glasses and chairs and everything, for a stake of 800 million. And in the Netherlands and in Belgium, we have a company, it's called Coolblue, and they are the biggest in the Netherlands with TVs, washing machines. You order them online, and they bring it to your house, but they have a really good service. So if you order a new toothbrush machine, they bring it to your home with two guys to explain how it works. I think the first time it's for free, they brush your teeth. But they're really good at service, and within the last years they gained a really big market share, and they own also, I don't know how much they own of it, but they also probably will bring it to the stock market, and it's valued at 5 billion. So quite an interesting company. If you look at the share, it's trading around 147 euros. They have price earnings around 26, and in the next 2 years it will go down to 17. A dividend percentage of around 4%. All positive. Two analysts are following the share, and they say the target price is 161 for the next year. All positive, but I think there is always a but. In this case, is they have an activa of 20 billion, but they have a total debt of around 9 billion. I think you should realize, if you go into that kind of stock, in this case HAL, that of course they bought a lot in the past and they financed it, but 20 billion of assets with a total debt short and long of 9 debt is quite a lot. So you should realize that ratios. So HAL was in the news, and I I hope I gave you a little bit more information about the interesting history of that company, that investment fund.
Yeah. What's next?
What's next?
Well, we have Friday the 2nd, the unemployment details in the US at 2:30.
Really important.
Previous month 5.8% and expected is 5.7%. Next Tuesday we have the retail sales, the Johnson Redbook retail sales in the US. And of course in between the football next weekend.
When is the final?
I'm not sure. First we have this weekend Spain playing of
Friday,
course.
yeah.
Yes, and I
Belgium,
think
Italy.
next Saturday will be the final.
Final next Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah. Our producer gives his thumb.
Then it's Saturday.
And you can't see it, we can see it. If you like it, give also your thumb to us by pushing it below. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you next time.
Bye bye.